So the pool of global investors needs to be narrowed down currently on an individual level to only NRIs, non-resident Indians, because at this point of time, either you follow the FDI norms, or you get into partnership with Indian companies, or you need to be an Indian with a PIO or a overseas citizen of India category, and only then can you invest into Indian real estate. So from a retail perspective, an individual investor is the global NRI. At this point of time, or at any point of time, India has always been attractive for the NRIs to put their money in. They are anticipating the RERA to bring in a lot more rules and regulations and timely deliveries. So they are holding back before putting in money in this season because of the announcement of the RERA. The real estate market is exciting. However, over the years, it's lost its bit of its sheen owing to the delays, the untimely deliveries, the 101 roadblocks that the NRIs have to face before they actually get possession. These have been some challenges that the market has seen. So yeah, let's wait for RERA to come and see how that impacts the buying and selling. Definitely, London has been the most popular place for HNIs to put money in, but now Canada, Australia are giving London stiff competition. Once upon a time, Singapore used to be really attractive, but because of the high taxes and duties now levied upon international investors, once again it's losing its sheen. HNIs investing overseas is a very, very regional thing. So if you see, the HNIs from North India prefer London, Canada. HNIs from the south of India prefer USA. HNIs from Mumbai prefer any destination across the globe that can get them immigration or better work prospects, or maybe holiday homes, distinct categories. So all of these destinations are popular. For me, I would first want to understand why are they looking at investing. If it is something got to do with their children's education, or the fact that they have a business entity or a business presence in that particular zone, then I would recommend them to buy there. If it is an investment with no pre-thought of criteria, then I would advise them to go in for safer markets like London, which has traditionally been the international real estate investors' haven for putting in, for buying and selling property. I would, recommend them to go into economically stable markets where the infrastructure is already set, where there is no restriction on foreign buyers to come and buy and sell property, where it's a democracy, where sudden rule changes don't affect your real estate holdings in that country. So which is why places like London, any place in Europe, any safe and stable emerging market like Australia, Sydney, New South Wales, Canada, because of the cultural significance to Indians, all of these markets are recommended markets. So there are two aspects to look at the whole impact of Brexit. One is to understand whether Brexit really impacts the housing shortage that London currently faces, right? And the second is to understand from pure pound value aspect how it affects the investor. So when you're talking about the whole concept of buying property in London, there is always going to be a demand for property in London. World over, investors, London is an aspirational buy for investors from the entire globe, right? As well as if you see the inherent demand supply gap in London, the demand is huge and they are still struggling to meet with the demand. So there is no way the housing market is going to undergo a major crash if they focus on the right areas of redevelopment. London is also going through a huge regeneration story right now, where the government is investing in certain areas to make them upcoming, to give them more infrastructure, and that story is really exciting for international developers, because not only do you get extremely good low levels of entry, you get high capital appreciation, you get excellent rentals in those kind of projects. So that's another story that keeps attracting investors to London. For an Indian investor per se, Brexit has made them a bit cautious because they just want to hedge on the currency, right? So when the Brexit was announced, the pound fell at its all-time low. Since then, the pound has stabilized, and we're seeing it kind of, average out around 89 at this point of time. So for the Indian investor, that is a great upside. Somebody who had booked when the pound was in the good old 100 to somebody who wants to book now, the value of the pound is the benefit that they are getting. But we are not seeing any distress sales happening in the UK. We're not seeing developers rushing to sell their stock. It's a normal sales cycle that has been continued even post the Brexit. I think global investors have largely focused on India. Again, there are criteria why they invest back in India. It could be a young family looking to purchase a home for their parents, which is when they are going to do it in their hometown, native town. It could be Mumbai, it could be Chennai, it could be Bangalore, it could be Indore, it could be any zone. That's one category of investors. So for them, largely the changing face of real estate or the rates going up and down or the RERA coming in, these are very incidental factors for them, because their criteria for investing here is to build a home for their parents. They're going to do that any which way within their set budget. Project selection depends on the various factors that you've mentioned. Definitely infrastructure around a project helps them decide that. The amenities that the developer provides, the name and the reputation of the builder. All these factors come in the second level, where the first level they've already taken the decision to invest and build a home for their parents. In the second level is when all these criteria come in. So that's one section of investors. The others are NRIs who have surplus funds and they are looking to make a quick buck out of the Indian real estate market. So they are definitely holding out, waiting and watching. They want the RERA to come in. They've burned their fingers several times, especially in the northern Indian markets. So they are being really cautious at this point of time. It ties back actually to the first question you asked me.
Right.
The announcement of RERA is going to clarify a lot of things for a lot of people, and that's going to have a major impact on the investment patterns of NRIs into our country. That decision, I think, or that impression one will have to create once the GST is further discussed in detail as far as the real estate industry goes. Right now, the obvious benefits will be that it will all be one common tax. As you know, currently different states have different types of taxes on a real estate acquisition. Maharashtra has stamp duty, VAT, some other states have some other tax formats. So GST is just going to make it a very common platform. But what is the level of GST? Eventually, what is the government going to, put the value of GST on a real estate acquisition? Is it going to be higher than the current taxes or lower? So once we have clarity on that, I think these things, one can form an impression whether GST is beneficial or no. But the obvious immediate benefit looks like that because it's a common tax, it will remove a lot of confusions and you can actually budget for your apartment accordingly. One tip I can give you, if 9 AM continues to be a dispassionate third voice of reason, if you continue to maintain as a neutral, non-biased, initiative which is purely bringing them information and good advice, then definitely NRIs would engage with a communicative model like this one. So Colliers definitely has launched this particular vertical, which we call as international properties and NRI investments, to be able to make the business more global, more inclusive with our peers and our counterparts across the globe. Traditionally, international properties vertical in Colliers has fared better than all other sales division in the entire network, and we are hoping to replicate that story from the Indian chapter as well. Our plans for the international vertical is to have a series of exhibitions beginning with the IREX, which is happening in October in New Delhi, where we are creating a very niche platform of the top 5 developers in different geographies to come and bring their investment products for Indian customers to look at. That's going to be our first major event, and we will soon follow that up with a similar event in Mumbai and in Bangalore and in Chennai, and then that's just going to continue the whole year around. Similarly for NRIs as well, we've planned investment seminars, we've planned different strategy of events where we also aim to be a dispassionate, neutral third party which just educates them about the area, the infrastructure in that area, why invest in that area, and then gives them kind of a bouquet of products that they could look at. So we are going about this in a very, very different manner than other IPCs. We are focusing on pure research, on knowledge, on bringing them viable options to look at. So that's the plan going forward for Colliers. With regards to NRIs, Colliers is soon going to launch the be all and end all book of NRIs investing into India, which we call the NRI Buyer's Guide. It has taken 2 years for this book to come into fruition. We've got some of the top tax consultants, the top legal help, the industry veterans to comment, and the book is going to be a coffee table book which every NRI can kind of use when they're confused about how to go about investing in India. So that's a really big initiative, and of course for the launch we'll keep you posted and have you cover us for that. So these are a few initiatives we are taking going forward. It's a very, very nascent stage right now. It's a budding vertical. So hopefully next year we'll have a lot more additions to the whole marketing and branding and the event aspect of this vertical. So that's what Colliers is planning to do now. So once the book is formally launched in one of our first NRI events, either in Hong Kong or Singapore, the book will be made available online. People can download it from our website. They can order it from their local Colliers representatives. We are more than happy to share that knowledge with whoever wants it.